Soares. Walton makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent. The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Hello and welcome to ABW Live, our second game of the season, our second win of the season, 6 goals, 2 magnificent performances. Oh, what a time to be alive, eh? And with me tonight is Fran, who I will call all kinds of names during the show because it's going to take me a couple of years to remember her name. And you don't make it easy on me by having a name on the screen that I can.
My surname is Tierney, so
I know.
Anyway, it's been a problem my whole life. But what game! What game! That was amazing.
It was absolutely fantastic. Just making sure I'm doing the appropriate number of tweets. So
I'll add another one in a bit.
Right, so let's go and have say hello to the people in the chat. Paul Nell is there. He says, let's go. Joshua Page. Aye, LFG boys. I don't know what that means. Anybody knows? Let me know. Carnito Elguna is there. What's up, guys? Leicester gave us more of a problem than I anticipated. I think we know quite a bit of that was down to possibly Ramsdale being a little bit excited. Bless him. I think he's a bit of a ginger in this heat. He can't have been too happy. Joshua Page says Jesus is our saviour. Sai is here. Another golden cup on the cards.
A bit early for that.
2 games in. Carlito says, I knew Gabby Jesus was good, but I didn't know he was this good. I don't think he got a chance to shine at Man City that much, did he? In the pre-game show, Fran, I said that he started 6 games against Leicester and he scored 5 goals, including one when he came on as a sub. Kind of preempted what he was doing today, wasn't it? Because he was running them ragged. And if he'd had a little bit more luck, he could have got 4 or 5 goals today, couldn't he?
It was insane. He's so good.
It is wonderful to see. Phil Macker says, Jesus, Keysby Knight. Arsenal fans all over the world finding Jesus together. It's never going to get old, is it? Josh, I'm an atheist, but I believe in Jesus. Phil Macker, who watched live? I want to know how our defending on the goals was. Well, we'll come to that. We got all the notes during the game, Phil, so don't you worry. Sai says Martinelli was everywhere. Yeah, kind of for me, unsung hero of today's performance. Josh, to all those in the USA airing right now on Peacock and PL Stories, and it's our righty. Oh, that's nice. Kalito, just glad Vardy didn't score against us. Hate that guy. I think there was a chant after that penalty going around singing something about his wife. I'm not sure what the crowd was singing, but I do know the commentators made sure they were talking the entire time the crowd was singing whatever they were singing.
That's hilarious. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. Phil says, are we waiting for Danny to finish picking? No, I'm not pinking anything.
Yeah, come on, Danny. Come on.
Sian asked me to do that. No, she wants me to do it all white. So it's getting white on its own. Useless pathetic noob. Tappy lads, let's get going. Loki's here. Evening all, no trains today. Thanks, Carl. Yeah, bloody Carl. Kate is there as well. Wow, what a difference this team. Nick has turned up. Thumbs up, people. If not, I'll come back on and ruin everything. John Cronin. Saliba was world class. Jesus Brillo pads. I think maybe your autocorrector's got the better of you there. Avon is in. Oi, oi. Probably some more oi. Stefan, great to see new faces on the show. And Nick said, yeah, I did say 4-2. That's what I went with. I wasn't sure 3-1 or 4-2, but then I thought, yeah, sometimes our defending can be a little bit dodgy at times.
It's a sacrifice you make for such good attacking play sometimes.
I'd rather a 4-2 than a 1-0.
Yeah.
Kate says, just the response when we conceded. I mean, I got the times of that. The commentator saying that is unreal. We have to watch our language today. We can get around the swear filter if you want. Rocky says, hi, Danny. I fucking love Arsenal. Kate says hello to both of us. Arsenal fan channel circle. All right, Gov. That is... I always forget your bloody name, and I have to ask Ryan what your name is. Fucking hell. Is it an Irishman living in America? OG is there. That was pretty good. Oh, it was a thing of beauty, OG. I'll have to get you on one day, Big G, if you can. Be lovely. Rudy, this game was brilliant football. It was the best game we played all season. Rocky says, hit the likes, guys. Avon, love the way we stuck the ball quickly. Arsenal fan channel. Hey, Danny, no more what's our style of play questions. Well, we know that. We saw that today. And lots of numbers. 2 games in, I get the feeling we are becoming over-reliant on Gabriel Jesus. Great result, but a sinking feeling nonetheless.
There's an argument for that, right? But it's not just him on his own being the only target man, because we've got 4 or 5 coming in and linking up, like switching around. It's not just all reliant on Jesus. And if Jesus were to get injured, which I know people are worried about, then that's the chance for Eddie to step into that role. But I do know what you mean. It is quite worrying. But I think we've got enough options coming up. We'll have to see.
Indeed. We got people everywhere. Rudy says it helped us that we. Oh, bit of burpage. Rudy says it helped us that we had a quick response from their goals. Don't know what would have happened if we hadn't have scored quickly. Very true. Avon says diver. Ooh, that noise. Oh, it's that. That's whatever that is. That's too close to your mic.
Oh, sorry, everyone.
Don't worry about it. You see the shit people have done on here. So half of them don't even turn their equipment on in time. David Chumley's here. His wife is a grass chant. Oh, is a grass. So could have been so much worse. Rudy, Jesus is out of this world. What a fantastic player. Xhaka with another brilliant game. Oh, Jesus, so many in here. Who haven't I read one from? Paul J, who recently joined us on the Twitch. I should have had this playing there, shouldn't I? Bloody hell. Tielemans is now knocking on our dressing room door, begging to join. What do you think of him today, Fran? He didn't really do much, did he?
No, he was a bit absent, wasn't he? Although I will say, now my stream I was hopping through various streams. I got like the key moments, but focusing on Leicester players, I couldn't really much. What did you think?
No, I didn't rate him at all. I was interested to see what positions he was getting into. Where's your mic compared to where? Have you got a fan on?
No. Where's
your mic?
It being weird? It's just here.
So give it a tap at the end of it. You've not got your mic. That's not your mic. It's picking out for somewhere else. Go into settings on your PC. And then go to audio, and then go to mic, and then pick the one that has the little green bars moving up and down when you talk.
Okay, give me a sec.
Yeah. StreamYard never remembers your settings. There you go. That's got rid of it, but we can't hear you.
Sorry, I'll go and sort that. You carry on.
Okay. Keysby Knight says Xhaka is having quite the revolution. I'd all but given up on him. Now he's turning B into a believer. I'm turning me into a believer. Autocorrect there, as bold as a googly. Nick B, imagine if both are right and left clicked in the same game. Still young though, aren't they? It's only a matter of time until that happens. I'm going to go and do a little tweet on my own account to let all the people know that we're live. There you go. Have that tweet. For another burp coming. That's the Pepsi Max for you. Josh Page, brilliant attacking football and dodgy bit at the back. Arsenal is back. Nick has put up Fran's shop on the YouTube. If you want to go on that, click on that, and then we'll talk a little bit later about some of the stuff that Fran has done. You should already know. Can we hear you yet?
I don't know how to do it. How do I do it again? Settings.
Go to settings, and then go to audio, and then the top one will say mic, and have a drop-down menu. And my one's got 4 different ones in there. You pick one of them. How many have you got?
Okay. I'll stay on mute while I.
Okay. Where are we? What else should we read out? Formerly Noser is there. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Squire. We had. Where are we down to? Nick B, Danny IT support. It's really annoying with StreamYard. They don't remember your settings, and they don't. If you put an entire paragraph into StreamYard, it won't remember it. It won't remember it. It won't wrap it. It will just do it as one massive long thing and takes out all the tabulation, which is fucking annoying. Tiger and Guna, we are shaky when Maddison scored. Well, yes. We will come to that later. Michael says, I feel like I owe Jesus an apology. I was happy we signed him, but I didn't think I was excited enough. Well, you could make up for that now by being overly excited now. I'm sure that will be fine. Like Carlito says, forget Tielemans, we got Xhaka. Yes, I thought that today. Xhaka has been fantastic, says Avon, for in the left 8 for us. I still think we would benefit from someone more mobile in that position, but those things can be true. Was anybody in the chat overly impressed with Tielemans today? Did a lot of sitting in central midfield. A couple of times he went forward to try and get involved in stuff. A few times he got back. Didn't really do much. Ended up taking him off. No, that's the first time I spent a lot of time in the first half watching him. I don't think he's any better than Xhaka. Loki says need Zinchenko at centre back, central midfield, and KT. Is a T next to us? Who's KC? KT, I think you might mean, at left back. Nick says, have you tried switching it on and off again? Every time I come in, I have to tell it that my mic is working because it won't find it out on its own. Stefan says, did Tielemans touch the ball? I know the answer to that. I can tell you how many times that he touched the ball. Sounds like you're back. You got your earbuds in.
Yeah, my boyfriend's. I can't afford AirPods.
Well, people need to go and buy some of your stuff then, don't they?
Okay.
Just don't get earwax in them. When I take my one out, I've got earwax all in it. I have to take it out with a nail file. It's disgusting.
Yes, Danny.
Yes. Right. So let's move into the game. We've got I've covered there. And so now we can get into the main part of the show. Is going to be notes. Did you do yours by the minute or did you just do them in general?
Kind of chronologically.
Yeah.
So we'll
what's
just
your
go
first
from the
one?
start. So I only actually got my first stream working at 19 minutes.
Okay, I've got two. I've got two up to then.
so
15th minute. Fofana finally, try saying that with if you've had a few shandies. Fofana finally booked as he can't cope with Martinelli. He is running him ragged every time we attack down the left. So that was about the third time that Martinelli had done Fofana there. And good to see the referee keep booking him there because that meant Martinelli could have a lot more freedom down that left-hand side. 19th minute, magnificent attacking work. Started on the left with Martinelli, over to the right with Saka, who crosses it to far post for Xhaka, who almost gets in it. It gets to it, but it stops, hits the post. Great bit of play. What do you think of Xhaka today? Do you think he upped his game because Tielemans was playing on the other side, the man who many Arsenal fans want to come in and replace him? Or do you think it's because Partey had a solid game playing behind him, so he didn't have to come back and defend too much?
Yeah, it was nice to see Xhaka more like involved in the attacking play, like interlinking with everyone else. We just had so many situations, didn't we, where there were like 5 or 6 of us all in close proximity, just little passes, so accurate. The commentator, did you hear him go like, Arsenal are bamboozling Leicester's defence? Did you hear that? No.
I was listening to South African TV, watching South African Supersport, but the commentators, I can't remember, they had Nigel Winterman in the studio, but I don't know who the commentators were. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, so no, I didn't hear that.
Xhaka was solid. He was really solid, I thought.
I like Xhaka. I've always liked him, even through the dark times. And now I'm glad that I did, because he's proven to be a decent bloke. We saw him on. Have you been watching All or Nothing?
Yeah, of course.
He's a lovely bloke on there, isn't he?
He is, isn't he?
He is.
It's crazy how different he is, like on the pitch to off the pitch. He's so angry sometimes on the pitch, and then got that reputation, and then seeing him at home with his family and stuff, and just how much he cares about it. And actually, I noticed it more like, was it him who scored? Did he score, or was it an assist?
He got an assist for the first goal, and he scored the third goal.
Yeah, but he was just beaming. And since watching the documentary, you could tell, like, this actually means everything to him, because there was all that talk before. So he did really well, and he's had that kind of redemption arc, hasn't he? Like over the last season, and providing he doesn't get any more reds anytime soon, he should continue to be in our good books with performances like that, I think.
Well, hopefully, because he is a lovely man, and I loved it at the towards the end of episode 4. He said, "Just blame me, and he had a point. If he wouldn't have taken down the Liverpool player, that player would have gone on and scored. So he had to take the risk and tackle him. But I'll take the blame. Blaming Saka.
It was a little bit salty though. Like he was like, fine, don't worry, you guys, don't worry about it. I'll take the blame. It was quite a funny scene. Saka was winding him up as well. But it was kind of the same situation, like the last ditch tackle, like Saliba had today. Like you've got to go in and do something, or else they're definitely going to score. And sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't, as we saw today, and with Xhaka's karate kick last season. Yeah, I find it hard though sometimes to notice what Xhaka's doing, because he isn't so much of like a flair player. I think, at least for me, like as like say Martinelli or Jesus and stuff, and I'm normally just transfixed by Martinelli and Saka.
It does take a while before you start. You've only been to one game, but it's only one game you've been to Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah, I went to the Emirates Cup. It was amazing.
But it's so weird when you're there. You spend so much more time seeing what the camera doesn't show you.
Yeah.
Like you're probably following your favourite players around. I think the first time I went, I was just after my 17th birthday in 1987, away at Spurs, my first ever game. And then I spent most of the game listening to the crowd. I remember very little about what happened, and I didn't know what to look at, because you've been so used to being told what to look at with whatever the camera shows you. And you go, I can look at whatever I want.
I was trying to look at the new players, really. So I was focusing on Zinchenko and Jesus and Saliba. But it was so weird, because it's the first time I've watched a Premier League football match, and all I could think about was like, who looks bigger and smaller than they do on telly? And so I was like, Arteta looks really small. And then like Saliba just looked massive. And
isn't Eddie 6'1"? You don't see that one. You think he's about 5'8", but he's not. 6'1".
Who else was like huge? No, I can't remember.
Okay. R. Richard says, as a former part-time keeper and part-time goalie keeper, I do have sympathy for their second goal. Low, hard shots close to the goalie's feet often catches out keepers. I mean, you always had Ozil used to do the headed down, because then that used to confuse the goalies as well. Rudy makes a good point. Fofana, 90 million. Are you having a laugh? Martinelli ripped him apart. Absolute terrible. Phil says, I assume it's just me having ABW TV issues on YouTube. No one else having issues, I don't think. It's Norwich internet. Formerly Nosa says, I like Odegaard, and he's... Are you having a moment? My mum does that when she's in my sitting room. It is 34.2 degrees.
Oh, yeah, the room I'm in is like a greenhouse.
70. That's almost 100 degrees, people in North America. I'm of the generation where I can do all of the different calculations. Here we go. I forgot to read that Noses thing. I like Odegaard. He's a decent captain, but Xhaka really is a club captain. I think we all secretly know that he is. He is in the dressing room, and all the players voted for him to be doing it. Super duper dibber dum says, hello again, Danny. Hello, lovely young lady. That is Fran.
Hello.
Fran is an artist. Phil says, I don't remember my first game sometime in the 87-88 season. Well, that's when mine was. What's Fahrenheit? It's a film, Nick. Avon says, Leicester are still noobing the set pieces. Tell you what, our set piece coach must be sitting there high-fiving everybody as we pulled out yet another corker. We've been down nearly 18 minutes. We still haven't even got to the first goal. 20th minute, Saka running out with the ball, and Justin drags him back. No booking, bullshit. It's always the Xhaka situation, isn't it? I always look at it. What if Xhaka would have done that? If he'd have pulled that player down, he'd have got a booking. Simple as that.
Yeah. But talking of unfairness against Arsenal players, though, we did get a call from Mike Dean today. So
we did. Yes, lovely. We'll come to that later. Hello to everybody on Twitter. No, we'll mention it at any point you want. Don't worry about that. Hello to all the lovely people watching on Twitter. There's currently 43 of you, which is the most amount of people we've ever having watched at one time on Twitter. We can't do anything other than... Actually, I do have a banner. Are you everybody on Twitter? This is for you. And where's my banner that says, that's Carpenter out. That's not what you want. There you go. I have a banner for all you people watching on Twitter. So there you go. You should come along to YouTube or Twitch and come and join in there if you want. So if you don't, never mind. 43 of them. That's lovely. So where were we up to? I was doing my notes, wasn't I? Got two screens here and I'm still confused. 22nd minute, Fran, the goal. Do you want to talk us through it? I've got some notes, but you tell us what yours are.
I was going to say quickly on the Twitter thing, we need to do the promo things. We need to say, give it a retweet,
Ah,
Look at
if
that.
you are on Twitter, do give it a read. Oh, there's 11 of them now. That didn't
Oh
last long.
no!
No more scrolling banners for
They didn't
you.
like the banners.
They've buggered off and left us. Yeah, so, first goal. What did you think to it?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I got some notes on this. So, obviously, Jesus' home debut, and I was so impressed with it. The main thing that stood out to me, obviously, he did a little 1-2 with Martinelli, and then the main thing that stood out to me is that he, instead of panicking, rushing, he actually had the balls to like take a split second to compose himself, work out what he was going to do, and then do that beautiful little like dink over the top of like the defender, the goalie. And for me, it just said so much that he could stop, compose, like that. Because I play like 6-side football. I'm in goal as well, and normally you're so closed down in the box. You think I've got to get the shot away as quickly as possible. And I'm always telling my team like, no, stop, take that split second. And that's what he did. And the shot was incredible. It was sublime. Such guts to have that composure, and I thought it was brilliant. What did you think?
Well, I've started making notes of goal for Jesus, assist for Xhaka, pre-assist for Martinelli, because I think then Martinelli got the pre-assist for the next goal as well, and did he get and then he scored a goal. So I think this shows, if you include a pre-assist, which is an actual proper thing, it shows how much other players are doing to help to building up the goal. Like I said, Jesus turns over an inside out, gets the ball to Martinelli, who does some wizardry trickery, which is a phrase I've made up, and lays it off to Xhaka, who gets a little touch. That's twice. I mean, the goal later on in the game, that's a lovely little touch from Jesus to set up. I don't know. Maybe it was Martinelli. I can't remember that goal which he done. We'll come to it later. Just a superb team goal. It's all well and good scoring goals as a team, but you can't always rely on one player. It's not like in the Sanchez days or the Aubameyang days where they would get the ball, they do all the work, run the length of the pitch, go around everybody and score. These goals that we're scoring at the moment are team goals, which is so important because everyone feels a part of it and they're doing all over the pitch. And we're dragging players to the left wing, to the right wing. Like somebody else said earlier on in the chat, it would be great the day when it will happen, when both wings, like today, Martinelli was exceptional when Saka was, he had a good game, but he wasn't exceptional like Saka has been. But one day that is all going to click. And when that does click, someone is going to get a whooping. And that day, hopefully against Spurs, let's have a read and see what some of the people in the chat are saying. Stefan says, no one is watching on Twitch. Twitch is rubbish. How dare you, Stefan? You're a very bad man. Really? And lots of numbers. We have had a couple of calls for us made by Mike Dean last season as well, all ready for his retirement. Yeah. Ah, James is there. Hello, you big Wookiee-looking lovely man. I am willing to concede my crown as the best hair in the Arsenal fan base to Fran. What a glorious Barnet.
We can share it.
You got a lot of love on Twitter for that when you put it on there.
It was so difficult. I'll have to do a whole other video talking about the process. But...
Of doing your hair?
Yeah.
Sean likes to do hers. What colour is your hair normally? Dark brown?
Dark brown, yeah.
Yeah, Sean's done. She likes to have it a kind of burgundy, a very dark burgundy, so you can only really see it in the light.
It's great fun. Everyone should dye their hair.
And she always says to me, do you like my hair? I say, I don't care. Do you like what I'm wearing? I say, I don't care. So you're making me wear it, then I'd care. But no.
But if you say I love it, then she probably wouldn't want to wear it. It's difficult.
She dresses like a twat at the best of times anyway. Stefan, exactly. He worked out the only way he could score. Very good. Apurv. So he spelled it phonetically earlier for me. Really good performance. 2 goals and he got 2 assists from Jesus. Apart from our right wing side being a little underwhelming and really bad display from Ramsdale, we are really good. We're going to save having a little moan about anything until the end because it's a little bit mean if we moan about it as we're celebrating all the wonderful stuff that we've done today. Formerly knows, I'd love to see a goal by Jesus assisted by Elneny. Mohammed assisting Jesus would be a great way round to do it.
It would be so unifying.
Oh, it would.
Do you remember? Sorry, do you remember over summer that some people were saying like we should just go full biblical and sign Isaac, Jesus, and Abraham?
I'd love to see Abraham at the club. Oh.
Anyway, as you were.
I'm making face noises, when Sean was naughty, even up to the age of 14. I go, right, in the naughty corner, and she'd go and stand in the naughty corner, and then hands down by your side. If she started fiddling or I said, if you make any face noises, because she'd go, all this. And I said, no, 5 minutes starts again. Even at 14, she used to think it was hilarious. And I'd get her friends to stand there as well when they swore. Oh, dear. That's why all of her friends love me. 34th minute. Goal from Jesus. Assist was an own assist. Pre-assist was Martinelli. Another great set piece from a corner. Now I'm sure Martinelli took this corner by Martinelli at the to the far post. A Leicester player just jumps. They all jump at the same time, and then a Leicester player gets his head to it and just nods it on to Jesus. And Jesus took the wheel, and Jesus scored. What did you do when that goal happened? At some point, you sent me a WhatsApp saying, "What a goal!" And I'm not sure which one of those two it was, but I was busy watching the game.
It was the first one because my stream cut out on the second one.
You did. It was just a fantastic, another set piecing. And I want every time that we score from a set piece, I want him to go to the set piece coach on the bench, and I want him to bring up his name and then have a little ticker for how many set pieces we have scored from. They won't do it. They don't care.
He's the 12th man, the unsung hero.
Did you see that goal at half time then when they went over it all?
Briefly, but not properly.
Okay, we'll move on. Have you got any more notes before the next goal?
Yes. It was the pen nearly given, which was overturned. What did you think? Do you think that was the right decision when Rambo came out?
Well, I put Ramsdale barely touches Vardy on the edge of the box, even though Vardy is running away from goal, which is an important bit, as we found out later.
Yeah.
Very harsh. Vardy made an absolute most of that. He decided, this happened to us, I think, last season. One of the we conceded the penalty when someone was running away from goal and they jumped before they. I think it was Kane, and they jumped before making contact with our player. They jumped into the player sideways like that. That's what he did, and so it was going absolutely nowhere. And this is one of the few occasions where the referee has gone to check the VAR, and then it's actually come back in the team who would have conceded the goal, come back in their favour, because most of the time it doesn't come back in their favour.
No, they don't want to overturn their mates, do they?
Yeah, so it definitely wasn't a penalty. I mean, sometimes it would be given. It was a nice sunny day. The referee was probably in. I thought the referee had a pretty good game. There's a couple more bookings he could have done, but yeah, definitely not a pen.
That's what they're doing this season, isn't it? Trying to let a bit more go. I've heard, and I think it's working quite well at the moment. Let the game flow a bit more.
Yes. Best scenario, Apov says, best scenario would be Ramsdale passing to Mohammed, who passes to Jesus, and Jesus scores. Oh, so should drink Pepsi Max before a show starts. Absolutely disgusting. Nose said, do you mean Aaron Ramsdale? I'm not reading that anymore. And Matt says, was Rodgers and Arteta both wearing black T-shirts? But I think they were in the shade the entire game. So it's not really going to make much difference to them.
Yeah. So the Prem footballers, every 20 minutes, they get a drinks break. Our six-a-side team, it's 40 minutes. I don't know if this is normal. No half time, no drinks break, like in the evenings right now. Like, that's a bit insane, isn't it?
Are they trying to kill you?
I think they might be. Anyway,
unacceptable.
It is unacceptable. I just wondered if anyone else had the same experience. But sorry, I totally interrupted there.
That's okay. That's why you're here. If you didn't interrupt, it'd be me talking on my own. Next,
I had a couple. No, you go.
Yeah. No,
I had a couple more from the first half.
First
of all, noticing Zinchenko's like impeccable ball control. You notice, like when you get it, you're not worried like, oh, is he going to lose it? Is he going to do a stupid pass? You're just like, you breathe a sigh of relief because like he's got it. He's so good on the ball.
He does like to drag it back with his right foot and then go off and do stuff with his left foot.
He's so neat. Great. I wanted to just add like the movement in the final third was just insane. Like the pass and run, and there's like 5 of them just interweaving, like swarming around the defense. The defense just have no idea what to do, and it's just made such a difference, I think, having Jesus, because he's so good at the little interlinking play as well as goal scoring. Having him up there to work with Martinelli, Saka, our midfield, it's yeah. I just wanted to give my praise to our work in the final third. It's looking really, really good.
I agree. Avon has some stats. He says Gabriel Jesus versus Leicester City: 7 shots, 4 shots on target, 2 goals, 2 assists, 3 key passes, 4 dribbles, 3 of them successful, 1 long ball, 100% completion, 6 aerial duels, 4-1, and 1 foul 1. Not a bad days. Sometimes this ain't how bad my burping is. Sometimes it's a silent burp, and I never know which one it's going to be. So yes. Next point I've got is 52nd minute goal. Long ball from Evans to their number 2, who heads it across to Vardy. But Saliba cuts it out and heads it past Ramsdale. Not really his fault, because it's much like we were saying with the Xhaka thing the other day with a penalty.
Yeah.
If Saliba wouldn't have gone in with his head, then Vardy would have put it away. And if it's going to be a goal, I'd much rather it be an own goal for one of our players than that twat Vardy scoring a goal. Do you agree?
I absolutely agree, and I think it was unlucky. I don't think anyone's going to be like annoyed at Saliba or anything. Like, these things happen. He did have to intervene, and he's got so much credit in the bank, like man of the match last week. He's still young, only second game with Arsenal. And yeah, it was the right thing to do to go in, and it was just slightly the wrong angle for the header. So it was really unfortunate. But yeah, that left us at 2-1, bit of a tighter game. Yeah, not much Rambo could have done either.
Rudy says, Mikel Arteta says Jesus was disappointed in the dressing room, having not scored 4 this afternoon. Didn't he score? As soon as we were linked with him towards the end of last season, we went, not really sure about that. And the next game he went and scored 4 for Man City. So he has done 4 before. Rudy says Arteta praises the fans' reaction to the Saliba's own goal. That's nice.
What was the reaction? It wasn't.
They applauded him.
They
applauded.
Good.
I think they could see that it wasn't his fault. Nosa says Ramsdale's reaction to the goal was great. It's really encouraging. Pete says sorry, late again, followed the wrong stream. It's understandable. Kieran is there. Big up, guys. Jamaica in the house. Glad to see Unu. I don't know what that means. Avon, you know what? Jesus could have had 5 easily. Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning of the show. Leicester were that bad. A quote from Rudy, cheers. No, a quote from Arteta from Rudy. I mean, Rudy, you can give us a quote of your own if you want. I did that once and bowled us all, and I don't even like cricket. I don't know why I said bowl to Googly. It just Googly sounds funny. Arteta said, I'm happier with Saliba this week than last week against Palace because of the way he played after the own goal.
I have a point to make about that. That's especially since after watching the All or Nothing documentary, it just really highlighted again what we knew about how Mikel's choosing like the mentality players, the mentality monster players. And so he was proud of the way Saliba responded. I don't know about you, but I was actually so surprised to see how much of his team talks are really like on the emotional side of things, as opposed to like just tactics and their heart and spirit. And that really is what makes the difference. So he's probably.
I can't get on with it. If I was playing for Arteta, me and him would fall out, because I am not a sit down there, hug everyone, team. No, just leave. I know what to do. Don't even fucking tell me. I know. Just don't speak to me. Don't tell me. Don't hug me. Don't touch me. I'm not involving any of your fucking team bonding bullshit. I don't need any of it. I'm gonna go out there and I will be the best. Actually, I don't know what position I'd play, because I'm scared of getting hit by the ball. So
not goalie then.
But the way he gets angry reminds me of how I used to get angry at Sean and shout at her, because when she used to fuck me, deliberately wind me up, and now she's having the same issues with lazy fuckers at work. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, see, this is why, Sean. Now you know right from wrong, and you can see them lazy bastards not doing their fucking job. Much like you, when you should have done the washing up, child, and you refused. No one else is going to do it. Right then, where are we up to? Matt D'Souza, Arteta has a quote, says, Tielemans looked pants today and we will now offer 6 million on deadline day. Excellent, Matt. I'm glad to see that you're getting up really decent quotes.
I like these quotes. That's useful. Thank you. Oh, also, guys, let us know any Man U scores, because that's just hilarious. if you can.
I muted then during a noisy burp. Rudy says this might be a real quote. We know what Gabby can do. He is disappointed in the dressing room because he said he could have scored 4. Well, the day will come, but he's just magnificent. Rudy says, I would not like to play against him. So mobile, so intuitive, always sharp. I mean, if you're a Man City fan, would you be looking at that and going, we only got 45 million for him, and they don't really have any Premier League proven strikers as backup, do they, to Haaland?
It's amazing that we got him. What was it? Someone was saying in the documentary, like he had offers from like other clubs and stuff. But he said like, no, I want to go to Arsenal. I think that was Jesus. But yeah, if I was Man City, I'd be looking and going like, why didn't we give him a chance? I guess just because they've got so much other quality and they've brought in Haaland. But I think it's obvious that he was told, you're going to be our main man. This is your chance to shine, like show everyone that you shouldn't have been on a bench all this time. And it looks like he's just grabbing it with both hands. And I'm so glad he's at Arsenal because I don't think anyone really has known. I know it's early to say like quite how good he is, like, or at least I didn't. And a lot of people are saying like it could be the signing of the season. So let's just hope he keeps it up. And it doesn't look like it's fluke. It looks like it's the way he plays. Like he is so alert, so sharp, works so hard. I mean, Pep was always saying that he hasn't seen anyone like work that hard, like defensively when they're like the forward attacker. I can't talk today.
It's very hot.
Yeah, it's so hot.
Apparently, Man United are losing 1-0 to Brentford. That's the exact words that Avon has just put. OG, you're gonna have to explain this to me. What's that, mate? What is a Sir Davos and Melisandre on ABW?
Nice.
I don't know what that means.
It's a Game of Thrones reference, Danny. Have you not watched Game of Thrones?
Oh yes, of course I have. Yeah, all boobs and death. You bastards ruined the final series. You should go to prison for that.
Such an anticlimax. I'm fuming.
Pete says, Dan, do the mustache thing. It will look wicked. It's Sean's mum's birthday on, it's the 17th. What day of the week is that? On Wednesday. So the offspring's coming back. I'm going to go and get myself in the electric chair and beep, beep, beep when going out. And so I can't look like a twat when we go out. So looking like a porn star. And I'm not sure that's a good idea when going out for dinner. I need to get rid of the beard, most of the beard, because I'll just end up with a beard full of fucking food. So I will do it at some point this season. Maybe for Movember, I'll just go full porn star mash. Handlebar one. Paul Nell, the bees sting early. They do. Remember Neil Mopay of Brighton? He's to sign for Nottingham Forest. You know, the one that Guendouzi had the ding dong with.
Yeah. No.
That's a no. Forest have signed him for 15 million, apparently.
Nice.
They're
I'm looking forward to
everybody.
seeing Forest. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because they did so well last season in the FA Cup. They knocked out like us, Man U.
Twice.
It's like the underdog thing, isn't it? I'd like them to do well. And obviously they used to be such a big club, and having them back in the Prem, I don't want them to just go straight down.
Well, it'd be hilarious with all this money they spend. If they go down, then they go bankrupt. Right, where were we? We've done for goal number what would that be? That would be 1-0 to us, 2-0, 2-1. The goal to make it 3-1 to us. 54th minute. Goal from Xhaka. Jesus assist and an own goal pre-assist. That's not even a fucking saying, is it? White brings the ball out of defence, has a couple of 1-2s with Saka on the right, and then Saka crosses it to the far post. And just like the other one, they were no good in the air. Confusion. Their keeper and Fofana jump for it. And they slightly collide. They don't know what's going on. And it looks like the ball falls to Jesus, who has a little tap and passes it to Xhaka. Whether it came off one of their players or whether Jesus passed it to Xhaka, that was 1 minute and 45 seconds between them scoring and our goal. That is a sign. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that Mikel has been screaming at them to do all the way through All or Nothing from last season. That was wonderful to see, wasn't it?
I don't think it can be understated, like how much of an achievement that is to come back twice so quickly. Like in my own football team, it's so easy. Like when you work so hard, they get one back, to just drop your heads, and you just say like, let's keep calm for a couple of minutes, and then we'll try and counter. But the ability to just go straight back at them, it was amazing. Yeah, it's more the play was great, but for me again, it's the mental resilience to do that. and the belief as a team. And the play is so good. The like linking up, as you said, Ben White. I like the way that Zinchenko and Ben White are pushing up a bit more and kind of merging with the midfield. I think that works really well. It seems like when we are going forward, it almost feels like there's 15 Arsenal players on the pitch because everyone's just moving around so much.
It does look like that at times. It does look like we're slightly cheating and we've got too many players.
Yeah.
We've got another Game of Thrones reference here. Craig Barlow. We dodged a bullet by not getting that Lannister from Ajax. Imagine if he was our centre back. It's very much along the lines of the Santi Cazorla memes on him when you do all the team pictures, and Santi's looking up like that with his little chin above it, and he's about waist height compared to everybody else. But he does seem quite angry. Nick says playing at United will give the bloke another heart attack. Matt D'Souza, co-commentary on Five Lies, saying that the sun may have got into Gay's eyes and questioning why he didn't have a cap on. Who cares? But it's hilarious.
I'm so invested in the Man U crumbling thing, and
the thing of beauty. Pete says, "How entitled am I that I am annoyed that Jesus didn't score a hat trick?" I think we're not annoyed. We're just a little bit. Would have been nice.
Like for him, it would have been awesome.
It would have been. It would have been lovely. So just have that window up there again. I'm bloody muted. Why bother? God's sake! All right, back to the notes. 55th minute, almost straight after we scored, another attack from us. Jesus on the edge of the box, makes a run. Their defender definitely touches him as he goes across the top of the box and brings him down, but no pen. And the referee, that's another one the referee should have gone and had a look at, because there was definitely more contact between their defender. He's put a leg out than it was in the first one. Did you think it was a penalty or do you think it was unlucky?
It was worth having another look at. I mean, I know they're trying to be more lenient with stuff, but I think with penalty shouts that doesn't so much apply. Like, don't just let that go, like at least check like they did at the other end. So we'll have to see how that goes over the rest. Got
a question here from Mr. Mercury. Where could I see Fran's sketches? Tell the people where they can go and buy your goods.
There's one of them.
You can't have that one. That's the original.
Oh yeah, that's the original. I want Arsenal to have that one day, but they won't reply to my emails.
Won't they?
Yeah, because they just tell me to send it to the info@Arsenal one, and they must get like hundreds of millions. So.
Oh, I know people who know people who know people who have once met people who once worked for the club, so I'm of no help.
Oh, great! I just want to put it on. They've got a section on their website for local artists, like Arsenal artists, and I just want to be on there with a few of my things. But we'll get there. I'll talk to you about it. You can find my sketches. I'll get a couple out at the end. But yeah, I basically do traditional, hyper realism, classic portraits. Because I think there's a lot of graphic art which I love, but I couldn't find any super realistic oil painting style things, which is sort of what I do. So you can see them. I post on Twitter my time lapse videos, and that's @SeeMeSketches, which you can see behind me. And Danny, you'll probably have it in the description or that.
Yes,
please. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And on my Etsy and Instagram. But if you go to my Twitter, you can find everything else from there. But yeah, anyway, we'll talk about that at the end.
I'm just going to go into the chat, and then if he wants to load up, that'd be lovely. There you go. I've put a link to her Twitter and here is the actual link to her Twitter. Go and follow her. You won't be disappointed. So there you go. There's no excuse there not to go and follow Fran on there, because
I'm working on Rocky and Righty at the moment. It's taking me so long. It's so difficult. So I'm trying to. It's really difficult because at the moment it's not there yet. The shirts are there, but I'm trying to get the detail in their faces from the most grainy reference shots. And what I'm trying to do is restore it to be a high clarity image of that awesome goal celebration. And so it's taken me ages. I'm doing tiny adjustments, but when it's finished, I think it'll be awesome.
And our Nick has put up for Fran's Etsy. And how much percentage did Etsy take from you if you sell something for, say, 100 quid?
Oh, I barely make anything from it, to be fair, because you have to pay for printing and
you get a third party to do it all.
Yeah, I don't have a printer. But I'm working on it. I'm going to apply for a lottery grant. It's a whole long story. But I'll make like 5 tenner, something like that. I'll make like maybe 25% of the price, which is kind of rubbish at the moment. But
That's very shit. And I thought we were being mugged off when YouTube take 50% of anything that you do.
Oh, that's rubbish.
I'll just check the lottery, and I haven't won anything because my mum, I've done all my mum's lottery online, so she doesn't have to go in the shop and do it. So, yeah, don't know why. She doesn't need the money. She's just greedy.
I hate seeing other people that have won. I'm happy for them.
Well, I won a fiver. I don't really do it. I did a fiver I won a fiver a couple of weeks ago and then just left it there. Well, there you go. She just explained that. Cheer up, Gary. Who's Gary? I don't know. So where are we up to now? So that is the 67th minute of Jesus is a wizard. Turns their players upside down along the right wing, cuts in, goes past 2 more players, and there's a cheeky low shot cross, but no one was there to tap it in. I mean,
the commentator said he wanted to be at the end of his own cross.
Yeah, he'd have got it if he'd have been there. But I don't know if Premier League history, if anyone knows this, has anyone ever got a hat trick and a hat trick of assists in the same game? Because he was bloody close to it. Ooh.
Yeah. I can't believe we're saying this though. Just you saying that sentence, how well he started. You know.
I know, in 2 fantastic games against decent. I mean, Palace away and Leicester at home. They're not easy games. They're top half teams, maybe even top third team. Third would, how many would that be? 5? No, 5, 6. Maybe they're top 7 teams, possibly. That's about a third. Have you got any other notes before the Maddison goal?
So you made quite a good note on Jesus, and I've just got a bullet point saying sad eyebrows.
Why?
He's just got such sad eyebrows.
Did you know?
Even when he scores, he's like,
oh dear. Have you noticed Arteta's eyebrows in the documentary? Boys had work done on them. They're almost perfect.
They are perfect. He's almost perfect.
Yeah, so that hair, he's very well coiffured, as we were going to call it. Right, talk us through the Maddison goal. What have you got there? One word display for the description for that goal as well? You've got nostrils or something?
I've got mistake from Rambo. It happens, and we know he will hate it. Yeah, what have you got?
Attack down our left. Zinny is out of position because he did spend a lot of time, like you were saying earlier. He's very creative and he's spending a lot of time, and he relies on. Is it Gabriel plays on the left when they go to a back 3? I think it's Gabriel go. I know Gabriel goes kind of covers on the left side. And then Zinny's doing a lot of attacking down there. He got caught out of position, and this is just bad luck because their bloke was making a run down our left. Zinny out of position. Zinny sprints to catch up with their players, and just as he catches him, the player changes direction, and then Zinny goes flying by and falls over or slides over or loses his balance. Actually, that's a better description. Their player passes it to Maddison, and Maddison decides to have a cheeky shot from a narrow angle. Bad defending, but they must be fucked now. I mean, that was 73 minutes of running around in that weather. You may have had a couple of minute breaks and a half-time break, but at half-time, I went and had a wee, and then I went and put 2 cans in the fridge and took another one out, and then I was sweating I was very sweaty, and I don't sweat. I never sweat. I'm much like royalty there. I don't sweat. And even I was, so you can't really. I mean, I don't think anyone really cared. We just. But then what happened straight after that? That was the 73rd minute. What happened 1 minute and 41 seconds later then?
We got another goal back, I think.
All Brentford a 2-0.
Yeah. So in my notes, I didn't actually note who scored.
Martinelli.
Yes. Just, again, such a quick response.
Was very quick.
It was beautiful. It's delicious to watch how quickly we came back each time.
I was really impressed. I know,
Sorry.
it's 2-0. I did say it was 2-0, but you went and carried on talking.
I do that a lot. Sorry, I talk too much.
Don't say sorry. No, it's okay. 74th minute. So the really most impressive thing about that goal was the fact they were attacking. They got the ball on our right wing, and then they took it into central midfield, and they were making a run. Martinelli ran from wherever he was on the pitch to near the centre circle, took the ball off their player, then ran back up. And then he passes it to Odegaard, Odegaard's out wide, and Odegaard crosses it to Jesus, and Jesus and on running back Martinelli set it all up half an hour ago, and then let it with his left and let him. I put HIN, it's fat fingers for you.
I have time to write all these.
I watch it during the replay, and let him up to banging it into the bottom right corner. 1 minute 41 seconds between goals, but so impressive of Martinelli.
Incredible.
Like Loki says, Martinelli top class, getting better.
I was so impressed with him, the way he talks as well in the All or Nothing documentary.
Yes.
Like his mentality about training at like 100%. And just how impressed. I think it does make all the difference, doesn't it? It makes sense what he said, that so there's the next level. If you're training at 90%, you're never going to quite reach it. If you're training 100%, then you can go higher up. So he's only going to get better and better.
And you get such so many people thought that All or Nothing was going to ruin our club, make us look silly. I think it's made us look stronger as a unit, as a family. I really enjoyed it. They were a little bit long though. I mean, I'd have preferred a lot more half-hour episodes, or not have 3 this week, 3 next week, because I watched the first 3 back to back, and it was nearly 7 in the morning when I finished, because I thought some of ABW would want to do a show about it, but no, they fucking couldn't be bothered.
I'll do it with you. We can do some reviews. I'd love to.
Yeah, well, we've not planned it yet, but you never know. You might do, because half of that lot don't even reply to all that. Like today, half of them even watched the bloody game. Josh is out at a barbecue. Nick went to a fucking barbecue. Carl is no doubt at a barbecue. Scumbags. Well, I'm sat here on my own. Even the cats are ignoring me. They're all sat out. It's nice at night, though. Gets about 11, 12 at night. I sit by the front door with all the lights off, and all the cats are rolling around. 4 cats rolling around the floor.
Dogs don't ignore you.
Dogs shit everywhere. My cats only do it in other people's gardens.
Nice.
The last note I've made is the 80th minute. Great work by Saka. Has a shot, bounces back to Jesus, who puts it just wide of the left-hand post. That was the best chance he had to score his hat-trick, wasn't it?
Yeah, he'll be kicking himself, but we can't. I don't think it's like being like stupid to like talk about the conditions and just how insanely hot it was. Like by the end you're getting dehydrated like a little bit, and I think in slightly better conditions he'll probably score that. That is a bit of a mad game. I've got another note. Basically it's been really, really cool. I think oftentimes Martinelli last season was just out on the wing, not so much able to come in central, and if he got it, there's only one thing he could do.
Flies.
But it's been having Jesus up there and Zinchenko. I don't know if you think this as well. He's been able to come in a bit more centrally, but not be like the front man. And so he's been getting a lot more involved, and we've really been able to see his skills. So I think that's working really well. Yeah.
Apparently, Femi's been moonlighting on Twitter Spaces. More information, Steph. Grass him up. Chris is swimming with dolphins again. If anybody, do you follow Chris on Instagram? Do you have Instagram? I don't even know.
I do, but I don't really use it much.
No, I don't. I used to put stuff on there, but then I realised the Chinese government will come and get me, and no one really cares, so I don't put any. Just mainly mine was just whatever I'm eating, which is the same thing every day.
Twitter's so much more interactive, I think.
I much prefer Twitter. But Chris is always out. He lives down in Plymouth, and so he's always out. The other is sea swimming now.
Wow.
Dirty boy. Shitting with dolphins.
My family's from Plymouth. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Are you?
Well, yeah, my grandparents, one side of my family. So we go down there quite a lot. The beaches.
Mine were all wrong-uns in World War II, so we don't talk about them. Stefan says, we create so many chances. That was a great thing today. Craig says, my only gripe with the documentary was no Vlahovic content. What happened in January? I think that just showed that there was fuck all going on. I don't think they had any intentions of getting anybody in. let alone.
I wish they just told us that though, like at the beginning of the window, and save us all the hardship, because it made sense when they were talking about it on the documentary.
They're just like to tease us and drive us mental. Loki were a big one. In the All or Nothing documentary, I was waiting for Xhaka to sing The Sound of Music at Highbury Corner while operating and saving an injured cat. What a guy. You don't have
It's
to convince
coming, I'm
me
sure
of
it's
that, Loki.
coming.
Has Gav rang you yet, Loki? But he fucking hasn't. Chopsy minge. Phil says, come on, Danny, Fran up and go
Hi,
pink
Phil.
for next time. See, to do that, you have to bleach your hair, don't you?
You don't need to.
Well, if I bleached my beard, my eczema, I've got a little bit of eczema because I'm just old and fat and greasy. I'm not greasy at all. But yeah, having an eczema beard at times and then putting bleach on it. What are you trying to do? Fucking kill me? So no, same here. Oh, Craig agrees with you. Lovely. Loki has a question. Where was Pepe in the doc? He did score, for fuck's sake.
It is very.
I can't remember any parts.
It has been quite equal, I thought. Like I thought they were just going to throw Oba under the bath, but it's been less biased than I thought it would. But it is notable, like some of the stuff that they just haven't included, like why Pepe was like just benched so much and stuff like that. But maybe like we don't know what's going to come, whether he'll get a little segment later on. I want a Ben White segment because I just think he's hilarious. He's so funny.
Man United losing 3-0.
No! Oh, I'm going to have to go and stick on Mark Goldbridge. This is...
it's hilarious. Loki says no Gav call. I'm going to message him and tell him to fucking call you because you've spent... Loki's a kind of artist. He's... what would he be? He's an architect, I think he said. And he has done Highbury in a kind of CAD. I think he said it was a CAD way. There might be another program. And so he can do any seat in Highbury looking at the pitch from any point, from any angle, any seat, any point of view, whatever you want. And I've seen the drawings and they are very, very good. And people would love that going, I sat in this seat and do my view. And then he'll get them printed up. And, he does printing. He's got a giant big printer. But he'll let you borrow it. He lives up near. I'm
going to apply for a grant and hopefully get one.
Can you just get a few of Epson printers and get them together and just do little bits at a time, like a patchwork?
I would, but it's paycheck, isn't it? I'm trying to find a job at the moment.
You'd have to stop eating and wait till you have to pay for electricity. Oh, no. I told mine to stick out their arse. I'm not paying it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about electricity. Super says, just made a list of Arsenal players' Twitter handles so I can properly tweet during the matches. Isn't that neat? Hold on. Talk to us a little bit about the game, Fran, and how you felt towards the end of the game, because I'm going to go and get something for him.
I was thrilled, just some of the sections of play we had. I mean, they counted a couple of times, they scored a couple of times, but it wasn't in any way like a reflection on that we didn't play well. And I just love the idea of other teams watching, other fans watching and seeing some of these periods of play and just getting a bit nervous by how well we're doing. Because we saw like glimpses of it last season, but we didn't have quite the depth up front. So seeing it kind of come together and the vision of it was amazing though, because we were a good just possession based team, but then also the counter attacks were really good. So we had like both of those things in our belt. So yeah, I was really thrilled. I'm not going to stay long though because I want to watch this Man U car crash.
Yeah, so do I. We're nearly done. I did have a list somewhere of all the Arsenal players' Twitters, and then I've done something with it, so I don't know where it's gone. So I've got 3 Arsenal websites. Only 2 people know about. Secret the other one. I'm going to delete 2 of them now and just have ABW. Right. So we've done nothing but sing and dance and high five and moon the listeners about how good the game was.
It's nice. It's a nice change.
It is. ESR back, that's brilliant. Tommy back, that's brilliant. Got a booking late on. KT back, which is brilliant. Finishing the show with a little bit of a Ramsdale in goal. Sloppy, reckless at times. Still hasn't learned to... When he gives him the ball back, he wants to get the ball, have a couple of touches and pass it off to someone. I did notice in the second half when we were under pressure, I think when it was 3-2 and they were going for the third goal for that 1 minute before we scored, that when they were giving him the ball to him, he was booting it out straight away. Now, someone needs to speak to him and say to him, when you're under pressure, don't take a touch. Hoof the bloody thing down the field. We lose possession, but at least we're going to keep the ball. Oh, no, Fran, 4-0.
No. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to respond to the question asking if I had a rep in the chat. It's supercalifragilistic, and I don't. Anyway, continue. So, sorry, your thoughts on Rambo?
Yeah, what do you think to that? Do you think is it because he's so young? Do you think is because he's going to have no pressure from Turner, because Turner's never going to get to play a Premier League game while Ramsdale is fit? And we saw this last season. He's a little bit red. How many times in the documentary did we see that he kicked the ball at their player when he was clearing the ball? And then a couple of times he did it in the Palace game as well, didn't he?
I think it's a composure and experience thing, don't you? Because yeah, and kind of his personality is so naturally like enthusiastic and exuberant, and he just needs to maybe meditate a bit, just keep it calm. But my opinion on him is he's so well. It's just a little bit more refining that needs to happen, but the raw talent is there. I'm a bit biased because I used to be like a regional like hockey goalkeeper and stuff, and I just have so much respect for football goalkeepers. So I'm quite Rambo biased, and I don't think there's any alarm bells ringing or anything for me. And he's so self-critical himself. Like after every time this happens, he'll be beating himself up more than anyone and just wanting to improve and cut out those mistakes.
That's a very good point. Loki says, in the doc, did you notice the so-called fans were interviewed, were all in exactly the same players in the evening at different games? Suspicious. I call bullshit. I think the production of the video was bullshit. Such a large percentage of the fan base were not represented. There was no old legacy fans like me. It was all the same young demographic of
cool
players
fans that make our club look cool.
Yeah, it was just the whole thing. It's aimed at a certain demographic of Arsenal fan, which I'm really annoyed about, because it had Arsblog on there, but he's the only legacy fan that I remember seeing there.
But also, I didn't like how they had Arsblog on there, and I liked how they included podcasters. That was really cool.
Sophie was on there. Kevin Campbell, and then she was saying on the show the other day, listen for it, and then Kevin Campbell, you can hear him talking, and then she goes, and then it cut it off. I'm thinking, come on, you could. It wouldn't have for 5 seconds. You could have let Sophie have a thing on there. That would have been. I'd have loved that.
And they didn't have. I noticed when they had Arsblog on and stuff, it would just been really nice to have their name come up, like ours are here, just tiny and white at the bottom, because like people are going to think, who's that? And then by the end of the episode, they're not going to look at the credits to find out what podcast that was. So they could be doing a bit more to represent more fans.
And I don't want to see a load of kids playing football talking about Arsenal. No, it's just annoying. It was I've not seen any of the others that they've done, so I don't know if that's what they generally do, because these young people are the future of the club, but we're not all quite dead just yet. So
compared to the other All or Nothings, there was more like fan voice, although not like enough. But it has been like the most like down to earth one, I think, with like hearing from more fans. It had podcasts in it. None of the other All or Nothings have had that.
No,
I think
I've not watched them because I don't care about
them.
They
might have. Yeah, I can't remember.
Nosy says Carpenter out. Fair point. Took your time. Pete says, based on what we have, we'll be finished in time for you to go and watch. Well, I'm going to watch the second half as well. Based on what we have seen, where do you feel we'll finish at the end of the season? I'm top 3 easily, no question.
You think?
Oh, God,
okay. Obviously, by what we've seen, but last season, we were so banged on for top 4, and then we just did that little crumbling thing. So, presuming there are no vital injuries, then top 3. But I'm just a bit worried. But you always are, aren't you? Like every team gets injuries, and I think we've got so many players playing so well. We're not just relying on 1 or 2. As we said, that whole front line and the midfield are working together so well, and it's team goals. So that does give me a bit more confidence. When last season we were a bit too over-reliant on people like Partey, and now we have kind of plugged those gaps. Do you think we'll get more signings?
I think there's a certain situation we can't talk about. If that escalates, then we're going to have to get somebody. But there's so many players. I mean, look at Adrian Rabiot. His name isn't Adrian. I don't know what. It begins with an A. He's going for 15 million. I mean, he's a 6'2" French international. What, a possible World Cup winner? I'm not sure. Played about 40 games for France from Juventus for 15 million to Man United. I mean, he isn't going to say that. Not that I want him, but that caliber of player is available to go and get.
It'll be worth having one or two more. Well, one just backup midfielder. We've got El Neni. El Neni's great.
Oh, we love El Neni. A little bit of Egyptian wizard. Phil says quickly, Leno, have we made a mistake by letting Leno go?
That's what I was thinking. We haven't actually seen Trusty, have we? Oh no, apparently he was quite dodgy in pre-season.
Turner. Trusty's the centre back.
Oh, my bad.
He's actually gone to Birmingham. He's on loan there, and he's having a good time.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, but I think it was the right thing to do morally, letting Leno go, because he's too good to be a backup, don't you think? But
yeah,
if Rambo dips in form or gets injured, I'm a bit worried about that. But then we saw in the documentary that he basically never...
Oh, you dirty... Stop it.
I don't even remember on replay. Scary does Fran. Yeah, I remember on replaying, but I wasn't so into football then. I just kind of knew the name. It was my boyfriend that got me into it all, and now, anyway. I do remember.
Rabiot isn't garbage. I mean, I didn't really get into football until I was about 16, 17.
Oh, yeah.
For most people, most people into it. I mean, no one in my family liked it. I'm a little bit like Ben White. My dad doesn't give a shit. He came to games with me.
You mean Benjamin?
Benji boy. Rabiot isn't shit. How dare you? Loki says, I will sort out the drawing soon, Danny. Busy sorting out a website and new plotter. That's what he's got. A plotter that does the drawing. Super says he loves El Neni, the Egyptian Bromford Pele.
He's so sound.
Tiger and Guna say, come on, Brentford. And so finally, Super says Danny's beard kind of matches his mic's cover. It looks like my cat's arse.
It does. Talking of mics, I did a gig yesterday at the local pub with my band.
You've got a band?
Yeah.
Is there anything you can't do? I am the least talented. I can't draw. I can't act. I can't sing. I have zero artistic talent, probably because I don't care. I have no interest in it.
Great podcaster, Danny. Not everyone can sit in front of a camera, can they?
Yeah, it's more because I can't bother to move. But tell us about your singing. Who do you sing like?
I like kind of chill vibes, like kind of soft vocals. But my bandmate, the other lead singer, loves like hard rock, so it's kind of finding a balance between that.
What sort of songs do you sing then? What ones were you singing last night?
Actually, it was quite a fun one last night. We did Mardy Bum by the Arctic Monkeys, a bit of Rihanna, some Eagles, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love singing Red Hot Chilies. So
I don't like music. I listen to almost no music.
Why did you ask?
Because you brought it up and it's interesting. So you were going to say, is there anything else you were going to say about your singing last night? Are you bringing out an album?
Oh, well, no, I'm going to make my own EP soon, though. I just have to save up. Yeah, I went to uni and did popular music, which is a degree.
Yeah.
Unbelievably.
Is that one of the ones that's going to get banned under this wanky government? No more interesting degrees, you fucks.
Probably.
It's all history and maths.
I know, it's terrible, but it was good. Yeah.
Tell us about your drawings. Show people some of your drawings and I'll put the screen on you.
Get some out. Are we kind of done now with the match analysis?
Pete says, you are the best button bashing monkey in the business. We love you.
He's great.
It's not exactly hard though, is it?
Well, it is. I found it super hard trying to do my own video the other day.
You're doing one. I watched it. Are you doing one later for this game?
I'm a bit exhausted now, Danny, but I might in a bit.
You'll get you'll get a second wind later, and then you'll want to go off and do it.
Yeah.
Even Tom Canton's having a bloody barbecue.
Oh,
the world's coming to an end when he's not wearing an Arsenal shirt.
I tried to sunbathe earlier, and it was too hot to even sunbathe. But
I couldn't think of anything worse than fucking sunbathing.
So this is my Martinelli one. So it's done in coloured pencil. You can't. It's looking a bit paler than it actually is. So I did it in coloured pencils. It took blooming ages. There's a time lapse of it. Oh, everything's falling. Here's one of my favourites, which is ESR. I'll actually show you my art studio. Look. So I'm sat in there now. There's my desk, my latest work in progress, all my stuff. It's all there as well. So
you do it up at an angle. You don't paint. You don't do your drawings flat.
No, because you can't see like it. So the perspective looks all wrong, and you can't tell how it will actually look like when you're looking straight at it. Like because everything looks like larger at the bottom. But yeah, this one is probably my favorite ESR, and I just one day want them to see them because like I don't think anyone will object to having a portrait drawn of them. You know. Like,
no, I wouldn't imagine anybody would get the young.
And I did this Messi tribute when he left Barca.
Yeah.
You can't really see it, but yeah, there's plenty more to come, and I'm loving doing it. I love drawing portraits, and yeah, so check it out on Twitter and Etsy if you want to support it, because I'm trying to do it full time, but I can't just yet.
Well, it is a tough time because no one's got any money. Like I'm selling everything I own on eBay, and I've sold about 2 things in the last week. Whereas some weeks I sell 5, 10, 15 things. I mean, one of them was a phone, and one of them was 70 quid's worth of stickers. These mugs buying football and buying wrestling figures stickers from the 1980s.
I saw someone selling an oddly shaped single Haribo sweet earlier on Marketplace.
Oh.
It was going for 5, and no, it was saved by 9 shoppers.
Nice.
I know. So there are ways.
Loki says he has a degree in maths, 3rd class. I did it part-time.
Nice.
Pete says, wowza, love Gabby and ESR, proper straight me, but love them both of them. Good news that he's proper straight. That's good. In these days of people being bendy and all kinds of shapes.
It's odd you have to clarify though.
But there is a drawing that I want doing, but it has to be A1 size, and it is basically me with the body of the people from the 300 Gladiator film, sat side saddle on a unicorn, holding a unicorn umbrella naked. That's the thing. I want it A1 size. So whenever, do you ever watch Taskmaster?
No.
Well, he has pictures of himself all over the house, and I want one huge on my wall that whenever anyone comes in, they have to look at me. You don't see any fluffy bits. There's no ghoulies involved, but me riding side saddle with the body of a god holding an umbrella, riding a unicorn.
Do you want it done like edited online or painted? Because I could paint that for you.
I want it painted. I'll pay someone to do it.
That.
But you'd have to. I'll talk to you later about it because it'll be hilarious.
It sounds amazing.
And people hate it. Oh, that picture up behind me on the wall of Sean, up to that behind my right. Yeah. Piss off. Sean did that because she did art at school and she wanted to go and do art therapy when she finished at uni. I said, don't you fucking dare. You don't need to take other people's problems and bring them home. You go and do a job where you don't give a fuck about the people. Yeah. So she works at Lidl, but she still cares about the people. Loki says he'll print it A1.
Yeah, if I do a little A4 one, or if Loki, you want to make it, then we can print it out for Danny.
Yes, that would be good. Get something done. Get it done. It'd be garish.
Commissions to do. So.
Yes, or I've been waiting years for it. Right, we're down to 30 people watching now. They want us to get on with it. So finally, where can people find you on? Tell people, for the ones that are listening, your Twitter name.
Well, thank you so much for having me on again, though. I love coming on and chatting with you.
It's been great.
Yeah, I'm so annoyed my stream didn't really work, so I couldn't watch the game properly. But I think anyway. So it's Fran, Francesca Cini. I go by Cini Sketches. And you can find me on Twitter at Cini Sketches, SENESKETCHES. And I don't post on there much, but when I do, it's like normally a piece of art or something like that, rather than just like spamming because I just chat so much, and I don't want to put that on my Twitter.
But people love it when you do a tweet of something you've done or a time lapse. People go mad over it. You get more for that one doing that than anything ABW's ever got. So it proves that people love what you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't want to I just want to post that on my Twitter. So it's a bit like a shop window. type thing. And then Etsy, has got all of my stuff in one place, and I send it off to be printed on this really nice paper, and it'll be framed and stuff. And I'm really proud of them. So go and check them out. And if you wanted to support my art, that'd be amazing. But Danny, where can they find you if they're not following you?
Around the bins at the back of my local co-op, looking for the chocolate that I've accidentally put in the bin. Nobody know. I don't want people to know where I am, because people go, I'm on Twitter, can I get a follow? And you go, no, the more followers you have on Twitter, the more people you're going to get telling you that you're wrong. So ideally you want 0 followers, and then you can post whatever shit you want 24/7, and no one's ever going to go, actually, you fucked hard, that's wrong. You're completely wrong there. And so I used to have
realize
14,
you don't care, they'll stop, won't they? Sorry, carry on.
About 15,000 followers, and then I'm down to about 9, 8, 9, I don't know, something like that. But the podcast has got 31,000, and it'd be nice if 31,000 came and watched this show. You freeloading scumbags, get it done. Anyway, we're waffling now, so thank you very much, everybody, for. Yeah, we're going to go and watch Man U, get them smashed. They've got Ronaldo starting up front. It's probably the biggest humiliation of his life. So thank you very much to everybody in the chat. You have all been lovely. Some of you more lovely than others. Don't tell people where I live, Nick, because they're going to come and get me. Thank you to everybody watching on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube, and everyone who is listening to this at home, on the bus, in the bath, on the toilet, doing the gardening, or going for a jog late at night, or taking the dog for a walk at 11 p.m. because it's the only time it's going to be cool. Mostly thank you to Fran for joining us. You have been wonderful as usual, and we're going to get you back on very soon, because Chris actually said to me, make sure you get Fran on more often. And then everyone else went, yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on. I love it. Thank you so much. And everyone for tuning in as well.
Good. Right, there's people just saying thanks and things. I'm going to go and make and watch the Man United game and make an outro video, which will be 10 seconds is long enough for an outro video, just a few shirts. And
your links in there as well, your Twitter username and stuff.
Oh, could do. Yeah, when people see it. I'm so bad at doing that. Right, that's it, people. We will be back, I think, 7 o'clock on Sunday. It's the same old Arsenal podcast. Hopefully I'm going to go and do that, but because Sundays are sometimes a bit busy for me, the only day of the week where I've got people over. And then on Sunday night, 10 p.m, it'll be me and Mike doing the Sunday roast with all the roasties. And then I think Chris is organising a podcast for Monday or Tuesday, and Jeff Arsenal might be on that one. But other than that, people, go and have a lovely weekend. Remember, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. We've got to save water, because the poor water companies are pumping out billions of gallons of water because they can't be bothered to fix the pipes, and then pumping shit into the oceans.
Yeah, I had
absolute scumbags. We only get one planet, and we have to look after it. Right, people, thank you very much, and we will see you later. Bye. Bye-bye.